What's going on, guys? We're here. We're live. We're back. It's a doubleheader, a surprise late night, midnight podcast with none other than the man. Listen, let me do a proper intro for this guy. So he's been on the podcast numerous times. We met him a long time ago, right after he won the W Coupe a couple years back. Since that point in time, he's used the run good of the podcast to propel him to victories very rarely seen in the poker world. In January, we did a 5-hour podcast in the Bahamas. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there watched because I know a lot of people watched from the messages we got. There was some drinking involved. There was some fun involved. The longest podcast ever was done. He took that podcast run good, used it to get second in the super high roller 300K buy-in this summer, win 3 Aria high rollers, and then just to top it off, he won the one drop for around under $5 million. I don't even know. Who knows how much else money he won? Who knows how much money he lost? But I know the kid had a big fucking summer. We got one of the hottest poker players in the entire world right now, the recently retired Fedor Holz, a.k.a. CrownUpGuy in the house. What's going on, puppy? Welcome back to the podcast.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Now, in honor of our 5-hour podcast, I decided to bust out the old whiskey again and here, kid. So let's just a lot of people, since that last podcast, a lot of people wonder what happened after the podcast. I got this question honestly from literally 50 to 100 people. What happened after that 5-hour podcast we did at the Bahamas, where we may or may not have gotten a little bit too drunk?
That's a good question. I don't think there was much time between the end of it and me going to bed, I think.
Yeah, it was very PG.
It was over right after.
Yeah. That was a question, man.
Yeah.
That was people's favorite podcast that they've ever watched, and me and you basically got drunk, competed in games. My girlfriend at the time made an appearance, and we kicked some lamps, and but they loved it, man. So, but they wanted to know what happened.
I mean, it was just, for me personally, I wasn't in the best spot in the moment. It was like, I don't know, I wasn't a place without a lot of people, like a lot of my close friends. Like most of the time I traveled with like my couple of friends that I'm like personally really close with. And just in Bahamas, I realized that was like the beginning where I realized, okay, poker is maybe not the thing I want to do for, a long, long time. Because I don't enjoy a lot of parts about it. Like I don't enjoy being in a place I don't really want to be in. And that like resort in the Bahamas is, for me personally, like one of the worst spots to be in, which is interesting because a lot of people love it. And yeah, so I don't really feel like at home there. I don't really feel like I want to be there. And I don't know, like at some point you may or may not have some drinks.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a fun podcast. We're already hopping into it, kid. So you mentioned obviously we talked you talked about recently retiring from it. I don't even know where to start. Honest to God, I swear to God, there's like 100 angles I could go right here in terms of starting. You put something on Twitter, we got literally 50, 25, 30, 50 questions from people wondering different things. So we got plenty to talk about on the podcast today. And now you mentioned at PCA, that was the start of when you thought maybe poker isn't for you?
Yeah, because I was doing pretty well. Like November last year, before that, I had like a little bit of a downswing. It wasn't crazy, but it was like at that point where I was like, oh, I was working really hard and playing a lot and nothing really went my way. And I won some money myself, and then like people scammed me. Like it was just like things weren't going that well. And then November and December and January obviously was like really good. Mm-hmm. But I could feel like for the amount of money I won, I didn't feel at all like the same amount of happiness, like I was like a week later I was in the Bahamas and I already felt like pretty burned out and didn't really feel it, which is, I think, a really bad sign, because if you're on such a like I was like one of my best runs like the 100K in Vegas and then the 200K in Manila, and like a week after I was already like, fuck this, I don't want to be here. Which is, I think, a really bad sign, because that means like whenever it's running like even worse, then it could get even worse. So yeah. At that point, I realized it's really important for me to make sure that I'm in a really good environment.
So what changed from the Bahamas to the summer coming up here? So did anything change? I know you got a house down in one of the untracked Latina type of sites, Costa Rica. You got a house there for the scoop. So has anything, what changed sort of with your mindset, with your mentality? Because I know you had a big summer lined up. You booked a lot of bets and you were, it seemed like you were pretty much ready to go. You were all in, invested on the World Series Poker this year.
Yeah. I think what helped me was being more certain. I just set more of a plan, what I'm going to do. Like I think it was like January, February, where I was like, okay, this is going to be where I like told it my friends, like this is going to be my last big summer and going to be like my last, grind. So I think with that in mind, it's like easier to, give it all another time. And I mean, I took some time off, spent some time with my family, and then I just grinded it all for like 4 months.
So we get to summer, and you start off the summer with quite the bang. You get second and debatably first in the 300K super high roller bowl at the Aria 300K. So I guess that event from a fan perspective, that was one of my favorite events. I mean, probably my favorite poker content of the past couple of years. It was just entertaining. It was a couple days. They switched to feature tables. The players were all very high level players with the exception of maybe a couple of the fun players. But overall, I thought it was extremely well done. And from your perspective, playing in the event, what do you think about the experience overall playing the event?
I think 98% of the event was just amazing. Like, there were like two things standing up to me that were like very poorly handled. There was like day one, the last 10 minutes, they didn't draw for hands. Like that in tournaments that's like the worst thing you can ever do at the end of the day. Like Justin Bonamore was no offense to him, but like he was sitting at my table and he used like 4 time-in chips in like the last 7 minutes and we were just waiting. And I was in the big blind and I didn't play another hand. So like, obviously it's smart for him. I would have done the same thing, but like, it was just really annoying that they didn't just draw for hands and make it like fair. And every table, the last 10 minutes, they just stalled for like, they played like one hand in the last 10 minutes or something. So that was pretty stupid. And then, what was the other thing? Yeah, on day 3, when we were 9 players left, they only had a 7-handed table, and 8-handed was the maximum they could do, like on the TV table. So what we did was we played 5-handed and 4-handed on 2 different tables, and one table was significantly better than the other table. So the people on the other table, they just stalled for like the whole 20. They did like a 20-minute rotation. They played like 20 minutes, and then they switched one player to the other table. So on the other table, they just played like 3 hands in 20 minutes because everyone max stalled to like the 30 seconds on every action.
Well, why didn't they go for hand for hand in that situation then?
Yeah, because they didn't want to slow down for TV. Like that was apparently the reasoning I've heard. I mean, it makes sense, but like once we got to hand for hand, we played like really fast, which, yeah, it was just like a lot of things that I feel like they just didn't have the experience from a player point of view, where they could have just asked someone at some point. Yeah,
let's talk about the positives of the event, Fedor. So the positives
I was about to say,
you end up making the final table.
The event itself was set up like amazing. I think the whole crew was great. Also, the dealers were good. The tables were great. Yeah, like the food and everything. We were like, they took really good care of us, and the event itself, I mean, worked out very well.
So now, been a lot of chatter, been a lot of talk amongst the poker world about the final 3 in that situation. So it was you, it was Rainer Kempe, and it was gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure who was the third person.
Eric Seidel.
Who was it? Oh, Eric Seidel. Eric Seidel, the living legend, Eric Seidel. So you guys were three-handed, and now there's been some speculation. You may or may not have had a large piece of the first place guy in that situation. So from my perspective at home watching, doesn't that make for a potentially, I guess, weird dynamic between the game when it's three-handed if you have a large piece of someone else that's also in the game in that situation? Or is it just yeah, how does that work?
Yeah, it can definitely. I think that's why it's important that you don't put yourself into like a weird spot before. Like I wouldn't buy a huge piece of someone, for example, where I would ever suspect that he might abuse it or that I wouldn't play, you know, like real. So there are only like 2-3 people where I would buy like big pieces that I just would never, you know, worry about anything, and I don't have a problem. Because I mean, it's not the first time I have like big pieces of him in pretty much everything he plays. Right. And so there's no issue with that, you know, like I busted him in a couple of tournaments and we just play normal against each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an uncommon situation, these high rollers. A lot of times people have big pieces of each other and it's just, you don't know about it. Or the general public might not know about it, or even the general poker community might not know about it. But in this situation, it seemed to be, you know, a pretty well-known thing, I guess, amongst the poker community. So I got a lot of questions from people asking about that. Just how did that, you know, how would that affect someone's play, or if they would play it straight, or if they might maybe make some moves that they, you know, I mean, it seems like it's like if you have, you know, 30% or 40% or 50% of the other person, it just seems like it'd be hard. I don't know. It'd just be a really weird situation.
I mean, the thing is, people like they overestimate how much it would be different in terms of how you play, you know, like it's not that I would, you know, go after him if I didn't have a piece of him, because it's like, it just makes more, like, even for myself, for my own piece, it makes a lot more sense to just get in heads up, you know. I don't want to collide with like the big stack when there's like Eric sitting there with like 10 big ones.
Yeah, he was pretty short throughout it, so yeah, it created an interesting dynamic.
I think also like Eric never, you know, had any bad feelings about it at any point, and like I think that's also really important. Like, I mean, you can watch the coverage online. It's like I would never do anything that is, you know, like somewhat, like I don't know, questionable.
Playing in these events over time, have you ever thought something questionable may have been taking place in certain situations in some of these events?
I mean, it is weird in these situations where it's like a close situation, you know, like a pre-flop all in or something, and then you're like 5 left and you know you have a piece of the other guy, you might just fold, you know, like these are the spots where it's like getting tough, and that's why I think it is really important that you and the person you have pieces of are like 100% on the same like level, and yeah, that's why I just buy big pieces of like my really close friends. All
right, so you get second in that. What was second in that? What did second place get?
We made a deal. I think I got about 4 and he got like 4 point something.
Okay, 4.4. So very large score. That obviously at the beginning of the summer. So you're going to summer, you're in, I mean, you're probably feeling like you're feeling fucking amazing. It's hard not to feel really, really good going into summer when that happens. Yeah. Then you start having these deep runs in these 25K, 50K Aria high roller events. So I think you went deep in a couple before you ended up winning like back to back, maybe the back ones you played. Was it 3 in a row you won, or how
it was insane. I think I final tabled like 8 in a row or something, and I was actually like, it was actually pretty sick. Like I final tabled no, I mean like it, like how unreal it was playing them as well. Because I played so much as well, because it was every day. It started at 2, so you'd be there at like 1:40 or something. And like this tournament goes for like 14 hours or 13 hours without breaks. So it's like 10-minute breaks only. So there's no dinner break or nothing. So it was a crazy grind with the high rollers. So yeah, I think I final tabled the first 50K and cashed it like 7th or something. Then I won a 50K, I think. I won a 25K. Then I bobbled another 25K. Then I chopped the 25K after. I think that was like back to back to back to back.
Decent run. Normally, most people feel like, they stop there, they're done for the summer. But, then after that, you decide, maybe I'll win the one drop for about $4.5 million too, just to top off the summer.
Yeah, that was sick. That was a sick tournament.
The question is, I think Kitty Claw put it best on Twitter. Why are you so good at poker, and are you sure you are not from a different planet? It's a great question. I mean, normally that's be like a question that you wouldn't give much credibility to, but that's a good question. Are you sure you're not? I mean, how does that happen? How is it? Like, is it something that you feel like you're just doing much better or differently than other people combined with variance, or what exactly do you think it is?
I think, obviously the ROI I had this summer is just not like, no one could ever have this, like not even, the perfect poker player, I think. So obviously it's huge part variance. And then I personally think that I'm probably top 3 in like live tournaments. And I don't know, I think the ROI in some tournaments can be pretty high. I think, for example, this run is a lot tougher in like EPT high rollers, because I think the fields are considerably tougher. And if you look at it from the statistical side, like the difference between going on such a run with like 10% ROI or with like 35% ROI is insane. Like it happened like 1,000 times less or something. It's like ridiculous. So I think it is extremely unlikely, but I think, for example, that winning the main event is probably more likely, probably less likely than going on that heater.
I mean, in some ways, it's obviously variance, but at the same time, you've been winning a lot of events. It's not just like it just started now. It's happened in the past. You've gone deep numerous times. You've won numerous other events. So I think you can only really chalk so much up to variance, and you have to start looking at other factors. I mean, maybe they're, like it's pretty incredible of a run, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all like really depending on how you view it, from what perspective you see these kind of things. Like I mostly just try to look at it from a buying perspective, because in the high rollers, most of the time I just didn't take, I just always had the same piece kind of thing. If it was a 10K or a 50K or 100K, I like almost had the same piece like 2 years ago or something. So it didn't matter. Like, if in my head Mobley cashed 100K for like 300K, for me it was like, cashing a 10K for like 30K. So people see it and it's like, wow, you cashed 300K. And I was like, yeah, I cashed 3 buy-ins. So I think it really depends on how you perceive these kind of things. But like, right now, obviously it's a lot different because I take a lot more of myself. So like a 10K and a 50K are completely different. So I think that like, especially from like you play mid stakes and you're not really in that kind of thing. Like I think it's really hard to know, what guy takes how much of himself, and like
right.
To put this into perspective, like how much does he actually win or like take of himself and all these kind of things.
I think that's one of the questions I've seen the most. I get a lot of questions about you, kid, just from people that are fans, people that are actual professional poker players, people very, very often it seems like, and that's one of the most biggest questions I've got is, what kind of piece do you think Fedor had himself? What does he have all himself in these tournaments, the 300K? I'm like, I doubt it, but I don't know. I mean, he could have had some in the Aria high rollers. I mean, maybe. I'm not sure exactly.
I mean, I can roughly say it. I won't put out like a number, but I took like roughly like a little less than a third in the 300K, and I played most of the stuff on my own afterwards.
So the one drop, you played most of that on your own?
Yeah, I mean, I always swap, and I don't even know exactly how much percent I had in the 300K, for example. I just swapped with like a lot of people and sold some percentages to friends, and like, yeah, that's about roughly. I don't know. I would say that I never took more than like 2% of my bankroll ever in a tournament. And like I tried to like for it to be between like 0.5% and 1% most of the time.
Wait a second. Let me do some. Hold on a second. Never took 2% more of your bankroll in a tournament, but you may or may not have had most of yourself in the $111,000 one drop.
Maybe.
How rich, man? Hashtag how rich. Kid, how does it feel, Poppy? How does it feel, man? What's it feel like?
I mean, it was a crazy summer. It was crazy.
So do you feel that sense of jubilation that one might expect one to feel, or do you feel now it's like, well, what the fuck do I go from here? What do I do now? What's next?
Right now, I really just feel extremely exhausted. Like, very, very exhausted. Like the summer was very draining. I did like a list. I had like a side bet with my only horse. I staked one guy, and I think he's a really smart and like I think he's gonna make it quite big. So I staked this guy, and I had a side bet with him, like who puts in more hours. And like after 3 weeks or something, I just called it off because I was like, I felt pretty bad for him because, you know, he wanted to keep up, obviously, and like he's super motivated, but it's not really fair. Like live poker is so much less, like it's definitely less draining than online poker at the same time if you play like 10 tables or something. Mm-hmm. So I think I was at like 11 hours a day or something. It was like constant for the whole summer. I played like, way too much. And right now I'm just like, I came home, I slept for like 14 hours straight, and I didn't really leave the house, and I just chilled at home, and I'm still like just leaving to go to the like river and just chill, go get some swims in, and that's pretty much it right now.
So someone on Twitch, Sandy Sanchez, says exhausted from what? Now, I don't know, a lot of people that haven't played World Series of Poker events, the days are exhausting. Like he says, he's playing 11 hours a day. That's a long fucking day of just sitting in a chair playing poker in the same chair with 10-minute breaks, 15-minute breaks in between.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize how bad it is when you really dedicated to be like, because for me, Vegas is like, I don't know, maybe bottom 10% of cities I could be in. So I don't really want to waste time, you know, sitting around and like doing nothing. So I'm there to play. So if I decide I'm going there for 6 weeks, I take like every good hourly spot I can get. And that just means you just play a lot. And I think I reached my limit, like pretty much exactly. I think that's like last day of the main event. I was like, I think it was like the limit where I was already, you know, close to falling asleep if I had to play another day of like 14 hours or something. Yeah, there was some crazy sessions in there. It was like there were 4 days in a row where there was like a really good 501k game running, and I played like a tournament on the day and then cash games in the night, like 14-hour days. And yeah, like stuff like that is, people don't really understand how draining it can be.
So this is kind of interesting because, you know, we did a doubleheader today. We had Kate Hall on the podcast earlier, and talking with Kate about the way she approached this World Series. You know, it was poker tournaments. But it was also a lot of hanging out with friends, a lot of get-togethers, a lot of potentially terms of service breaking activities that may or may not have been happening with her and other people. So to hear your guys' approach to summer, you know, it's two very different approaches to the World Series of Poker. It sounds like you took the approach of poker, only poker, really nothing else at all.
That's not entirely true. Like, obviously I tried to fill the free time, you know, with like as much fun as I can. And I have a lot of friends there, and we also went out and I went hiking and stuff. But like, I mean, still, it's like, you're really not in that like mindset to do something that is like active, you know, like really like physical and stuff. It's like, you just need the energy. You just want to restore it, like store it as much as you can, and don't really, because I mean, it is kind of a commitment that I made in before. It's like, you know, this is going to be my Las Vegas, so I want to get as much out of it as I can and not go there for like half holiday, half play.
So when you say it's your last Vegas, you mean this is your last full 6-week stint in Vegas, or
Yeah.
you're still going to go there for maybe the main or the one drop, but you just don't plan on doing the full 6 weeks again in the future?
Yeah, pretty much that.
So retired from poker? You're not really retired from poker. You're not retiring, are you?
I mean, I think that got misunderstood a lot. What I mean by that is just like the expectation I have of myself when I say I'm a poker player is that I put, like, it's my priority number one. Family is more important, but like friends are more important. But like in my terms of what I dedicate my time to, it's my priority number one. And that means to me that I play a lot, I study a lot, and I talk about it a lot. And if I look at it like this, that I think I used to play like minimum 2,000 hours a year in terms of like talk about it, like strategy or play, minimum 2,000. And I think my first year or like second year, I've played like dedicated maybe like 3,000 hours to it. So like a very intense activity, I would say. And so if I look at it from this perspective now, that like hourly is not really of that much interest to me anymore. I'm not like, I don't really feel that like I need to make more money right now. So then I think about it, okay, what else do I get from playing poker? And it's like, it's challenge, it's like competition, it's fun, and it feels fulfilling in a way. So then I think about it, okay, like I have these like 2,500 hours or something. And then I think about the bottom 2,000 hours, like if I had to rank them from like hourly and fun and whatever, then I'm like, why do I even do this? Because like, if I'm honest, I probably enjoy like the top 400 hours exponentially more than like the next 2,000. So playing a 50K, playing a 25K, playing 100K, like competing in these kind of fields where like your hourly is really high, the fields are like, like you have way better conversations with the people, it's more entertaining to be there, it's like everything is just like more enjoyable in a way. Like I just had really good conversations with it's just fun to be there. And then I look at it when I'm sitting in like a 1K at WSOP because I have some side bets going on and my hourly is like okay, and it's pretty much just like going for first place and everything else is like disappointing in a way. Then you sit there and you think about it, okay, like my hourly has not really any impact on my life right now, and it's going to be a disappointment like 99% of the time. And I have headphones on because like most of the people on the table are just not really enjoyable to talk to. And then you sit there and like the aircon is killing me. And it's just, you think about it and then I'm just like, okay, I think it's not that hard for me to find a substitute for that hour that I enjoy more than doing this. And then for me, it was quite clear at some point, like, okay, I have a really high EV in poker, like a yearly EV, and it might be, it doesn't make sense to give up on this if I have like a goal I want to achieve. And that goal for me was like buy a house and then be set for life, like invest in some stocks, buy a house, and that's it. And now I achieved that, and now I'm just like, I don't really need these hours anymore. And I'm just gonna, I think I can still make like 300, 400K EV by playing poker and like make another 300, 400 by investing in some things, maybe more. And I still have an insane income and I can dedicate my time to something else. And I think a year right now that I don't dedicate to poker, that I dedicate to something else could be life-changing in terms of, being ahead of the curve in something. Because right now I think my capacity is really high, my resources are really high, I have a lot of free time, I'm not really, like, I don't really have any things that I have to take care of right now. And obviously confidence is really high. I just feel really confident in what I'm doing right now. And I think it's a perfect spot to just take it easier and just play like the fun stuff. And yeah, that's the long story about why I think I'm gonna like probably play like 20% of the volume I'm playing right now.
Do you have any idea of what you're going to spend those other hours on?
That's the thing. I think a lot of the time, what was a little bit like bothering me is that I couldn't choose, that I had like things I had to do, like from poker, like coaching, or I had to play this tournament because I was there, or I was stuck in this place because I had some bets going on, whatever. Like, for example, after the 300K, I really wanted to leave Vegas. I was like, okay, let's take a holiday for like 2 weeks and then come back. But I couldn't because I had like 200K in side bets on like Hold'em events cashes. So I was like playing every 1500 from the start, or like 1 hour late reg or something. So like you sit there for like hours and play. And it was like, that's the moment where I really was like, why am I doing this? Why am I sitting here and not just, you know, being somewhere else? And like this moment, that's when like, that's really not cool in whatever position you are. You just don't want to do something, you know, where you think of something, you can think of something immediately right now, physically, where you're like, okay, this is nicer. And I have this mindset whenever I know this, whenever I'm like, I know something right now that I can manifest that I think is nicer to do, I just want to do it.
But you don't know what that is right now.
Right now, it's just spending time with my friends, sitting around, reading some books, you know, getting some healthy food, like eating some healthy food, visiting my family soon. Just like go with the flow right now. Just take it really easy. I'm reading some books about trading right now, and just talk to people. Like there are a couple of people that I think are really interesting, have really interesting personalities that approached me in a way, like very successful businessmen, for example, like some of them good friends, some of them became friends, and it's like, hey, do you just want to, you know, talk opportunities or whatever? And I'm like really open. I just want to, right now, I just want to scan all my opportunities, and I want to try out a lot of things. I want to get some more hobbies, just like try out some things and just see what is out there for me.
Gonna be a lot of options out there for you, Fedor. I mean, I feel like in terms of, you know, like it's almost like, do you ever feel like, I know I feel like this, but too many options sort of it's hard to narrow down, you know, what, and that's the good thing I like about poker. And then it's been hard for me to find other things, is that when poker's your main thing, it's pretty much like set. If poker's your thing, you play poker, you study poker, you talk poker. Then when you start thinking about other things you can do, I mean, shit, there's so many things you can invest your time in doing. There's so many people you can invest your time in. So many options once you get to a certain point in your life. Then it becomes a little bit challenging to figure it out, because you feel like you do 3 things while missing out on these 7 other things. And it can sort of overtake your mind. And then you're like, man, I miss poker. So poker seems simple in retrospect. You sit down, you play poker, or you go to casino, you play poker, sort of thing. Are you worried about something like that maybe happening?
But I think that is exactly the same thing, just in an abstract version, that is happening to all the people that are stuck in their job. It's like you take the way that you've been taking, you know, just for the last couple of months or years. And it's because it's a habit, and it's like the easiest way to take. And I feel like it's more about, like, everyone has this inner intuition that tells you, you know, this is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. Whatever, like, if that, you know, has any like real value, if that like, is true or not, doesn't really matter. It's like what you think about it. Like if you think right now poker is the right thing, it's perfect, you know. But if you ask yourself and you can't answer this question with yes, then I think it's only like insecurity that is holding you back from doing something else.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people are maybe insecure to the fact that if poker's the way they make a living and they stop playing poker, how are they going to replicate that potential, income stream in their life, because a lot of people have just been doing poker for so long. They may or may not have money from poker, but if they stop playing or if their skill deteriorates, they take a break, they're not going to be able to ever start making money again at poker. And I think that's why a lot of people just kind of continue to play poker, is because they view that as their only potential avenue for success, or success from a monetary standpoint.
But that's exactly the same reason why a lot of people stay in their jobs.
For sure.
Although they hate it. It's because they think, because you always find reasons why to stay. Like if someone's asking me to make a point for staying or for leaving, I can find, a lot of arguments for both sides. It's just a matter of like, what do you really want? Do you want to stay? Then I will find arguments for staying. Like I could find hundreds of arguments for myself to stay, like at first everyone was like, just stay, make more money. Like, and I'm just like, that argument has no value to me, So like, for me, the only argument that matters is like, do I want to do it or do I not want to do it? And I'm like, partially, yes, but I feel like there's something else out there that would give me more joy. And like, I don't think you feel like this when there's maybe one thing, that might be better at some point. No, I think you feel like this when there are a lot of options that have a high probability of being something that you enjoy more. You're not like, people are not like, when you found the 99.9% best job you could have taken, they're not like, but there might be something better. No, you're really, really happy with this. Most of the people, they work in a job that's probably like top 60% or something, and you're like, yeah, it's fine, So I feel like at this point right now, I don't have this, like, it's not like poker was really high up there. I was like, at some point, I didn't think about ever doing anything else, like at the moment. But like at this moment right now, when like some settings changed and some surroundings changed, and I think my mindset changed a lot, I feel like I became a lot more like calm, like not so, not like crazy. I don't know how to say that, but like just, it's this kind of thing when you think about getting a dog, like this kind of thing. So just getting more settled in a way, and like having something more mentally reliable, like these kind of things.
Aurora Chat says Fedor is having a Burning Man awakening. Kind of this is what people go through at Burning Man, except this happens with LSD and acid, allegedly, and other terms of service, various breaking activities that happen there. Are you thinking about going down that route of life, the Burning Man route, the those sort of things?
Not really, no. I think it's interesting. I just like to experience different things. I tried some drugs, but like, no, I'm not a big fan, and it didn't really.
Fedor, you're not allowed to say everyone that tries drugs has to advocate everyone else tries drugs. Haven't you got the memo on drug using?
Oh, sorry. I haven't tried M though. That I feel like that's a big leak so far. So.
I mean, pros and cons obviously on both sides of things.
Yeah.
When did you try drugs?
Yeah.
During the summer? When this? What was it? When this sounds like a new thing?
No. I mean, just over the last couple of years, you just like, there are situations where like, yeah, I never was kind of I never was this kind of guy. I'm just I think I'm way too critical. Like, I don't know. It has to be, something really good. And even then I'd be like, I feel like I have this mindset, there always have to be downsides to these kind of things, like this, for example, when they advertise this new pill that is like increasing your brain capacity, like whatever, like this limitless kind of thing. I was like, I could never take this kind of thing because I just can't believe that something like this exists. I just like don't think that. I just feel like, when it works for like 5 years or something, and like 10 years, people will get like some crazy side effects or something. Like this is just how I think about these kind of things. So I'm like very, I don't know, very conservative about drugs.
interesting point in your life here, Poppy. I mean, I've always said I think you're going to have some sort of impact on rejuvenating a down country. I think I said that like the first or second podcast. I'm still like, that's still in play to me. How old are you right now?
22. I'm turning 23 in 3 days, 4 days.
So you're
3
turning
days.
23 in 3 days.
Yeah.
23 years old, kid. 23.
Big bracelet party incoming. You coming, Poppy?
What's the plan for your birthday?
Oh, just like I rent a nice place and then just may or may not drink some drinks.
I've seen you drunk before, kid. You're a fun drunk, man. I mean, you're in line, you're a little out of line. It's like a mixture of you're definitely skirting the motherfucking line, man.
Yeah, I like dancing on the line.
You do. So you've had
salsa mostly.
I mean, coming into summer, you already had a lot of success, but now I feel like that somehow ramped up an extra couple of degrees. What have people been saying to you? What have other poker players? How the ladies treating you? The fellow female poker player? Like, what's been the way that is different? Is anything different for you in terms of how people are approaching you or talking to you or that sort of thing?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it crossed the line where it got annoying. It was the first time where it was like, this is too much. Like,
right, because everyone wants to be your friend. I mean, you got all the money. You got it's like how so then?
It wasn't actually this too much. I think it was more like just random people. Like, before it was like maybe 3 or 4 a day, and it was like, okay, you give like a picture and it's okay. But like when there's like 40 a day, then it's like, then you start to be like, no thanks right now. It's like fine. And I know that was kind of like weird. Like, especially the way some people do it is so much different than other people do it. Like, some people, they come up and they're like actually like super excited, like, they follow all this kind of stuff and they're like fans, they're like, oh man, I'm like, can I take a picture with my wife or something? Like,
Whoa, keep your wife. Hey, listen, you got a wife, keep her away from Fedor. Bang, bang, come on.
Nah. I mean, it's like this 50-year-old couple and he's like, can we take a picture with you? We're big fans or something. And that was kind of sweet, that was nice. And then there's some people that just like take it for, getting more Instagram followers. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, It's like, it's not, there's like, I can't really explain this well, but like, it's just, you can instantly feel the vibe people give you, do they want the fame or do they actually like have this, like enthusiasm about poker?
For sure. And I mean, I just I turned the light up a little bit. From being out in Vegas this summer myself, I met a very large amount of people, random people who came up to me, talked about the podcast, and I've had a lot of conversations with people, and I mean, I don't know. I guess like I try to always be on when I'm in Vegas, but I mean, I wasn't necessarily playing 12 hours every single day. I was drinking a lot. I was going out a lot. I was getting very out of line. And so I guess when I saw people, I just was like, I tried to have a conversation with them for a couple minutes, but I imagine when you're just drained, you're just like, please, you don't want to be rude or anything like that. But at the same time, it's like, hey, I'm trying to, like, I'm kind of, I'm not feeling it right now.
I think for you, it's also a little bit different because they are your viewers, like they kind of make your success. I mean, not like specifically, but like, they're part of your success.
Sure.
And I don't feel this like this at all. So
sure.
I think it's a huge difference. Like if I would be a singer and like, fans come up, I feel like way more like obliged to give them something back because these are the people that pay you kind of.
That's a good point.
So like I'm a poker player and these people literally have done nothing for me. Or like not much. Obviously, like some of them, I feel like obviously I'm nice because it's like, it's nice in a way. If they're nice, I'm nice. But like at some point when they're like trying to take advantage of you, then I think it's kind of annoying.
Interesting. So how about, I guess, your dealings with other poker players? Has that changed at all?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think there's more respect, but I don't know. I mean, most of the guys, they just know variants so well. Like, I mean, they've all been playing for years. It's not like, you know, they jump on the hype train. I think I got more respect. I think people think now that I'm like better than they thought I was like months back, when I actually think I was better back then. But in interactions, it's just really hard to talk to people. Like in poker, you know, whenever you meet someone who's playing poker and who knows you or me, it's just they just, most of them have a really hard time talking to me on like the same level. Just like, you know, how are you doing kind of is already awkward, and that just makes it super annoying. It's just like you can never really meet new people because they're all like, oh my god, you know, and it's like, why don't you just talk normally to me? You know, like, you're a human being, I'm a human being. It's like from a different planet maybe, but
you could be from a different planet. I mean, you never know, according to people. That's kind of interesting, is that, so you feel like when people approach you now, they're not coming at you from a real standpoint. They're coming at you from like they're coming at you from a, I don't know, it's almost like a vertical sort of way they're looking at you, instead of just being themselves. They're just like, they're I don't know, dumbfounded or something a little bit, or they're not being themselves, basically.
I mean, there's just so many things going on and I just don't enjoy. It's just, I just feel like I don't want to waste energy on this. Like, people that I've never met that talk shit about me, or like, you know, like friends tell me that like some people, you know, talk stuff about me, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't even want to engage in these kind of things because it's just costing energy, and I know it's just like because they're insecure about themselves. You know, it's like whenever there's someone who's like playing really well or running really well, then it's like bringing this question up, like, why haven't I done this? You know, why am I not in this spot? And then it's like, oh, it's because he sucks. It's because da. And then you feel bad about yourself again, and then you can go on not working that hard and not doing that much work, and then you're like good about yourself again.
Bang, bang.
And that's just, it's just like, I'm just like, I'm over this. But like, it makes really hard to, you know, find people that you can connect to, because a lot of people are like this. And so I just went more into this direction of having like a small group of like really close friends, and then just being, you know, like nice to everyone else, but like not engaging too much.
You were kind of always like that, I feel like, when you know, you kind of always kept to your circle of friends or your group of friends, and it seemed like you never really ventured out to the clique. There's like, you know, there's like a clique of these high roller kind of guys, you know what I'm talking about. And it seems like most people always like want to try to get with the clique, or they always want to hang out with these guys for whatever reason, just because, you know, I mean, some of them might be some interesting guys, but it's mainly because of the success they've had at poker. And that's sort of the reason why a lot of people are motivated to want to be friends with those type of people. And
I wouldn't say it's necessarily the high roller crew. Like, I think with these people, most of them I can connect pretty well, because they're they have more like this kind of mindset. But I think it's more that we're in different phases of our lives. Like, most of them are significantly older than me, and just we're like just in different, you know, spots. Like, I don't think, I mean, we're like literally no one below 25 in these tournaments. Like, I think Colman is maybe the only one, and he's like already, you know, out of poker. But like with most of these guys, I actually, I think, you know, we have quite a nice connection. Just like, even if we don't see each other a lot, we just talk well. But like, I think it's with pretty much 99% of the poker regulars, where it's more of this kind of thing, where it's like, either they can't really, you know, they can't really stop talking to me from like this weird, like either jealous or fanboyish kind of way, or it's just like they can't take it that someone, you know, like works harder than them, and then they have to like question their own game, and then they just don't really want to do that. So yeah.
Have you ever talked with Dan Colman before? You've ever had a conversation with him?
Yeah, I think he's definitely weird in a way, but in a good way. I really like his weirdness. And I think like this kind of way, what he's doing right now, I think it's not that, like, it's pretty similar to what I'm going to be doing.
Right, exactly. That's why I asked, because you guys are at very similar points in terms of trying to explore new things, figure out new things, gain new hobbies, figure out exactly what it is you want to spend your time doing.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I think our development is very similar. I think he probably struggled or struggles with the same kind of things as well.
Dramatic Degen says, ask Fedor if, because it's tough with meeting people, does that also make it hard to trust new people as well?
Oh yeah, I mean, for good reason. I mean, it's like, it's not that this is, this just pops up and it's like now you don't really trust people. It's like, it's because you can't really trust people, like they like, no offense, but like, it's just the way it is, if people get an easy spot, they take advantage of you. It's like this kind of line where, like, how much you can get, and then, like, how much can you get out of this person, and then, like, do you take advantage of him or not? Like, how much energy does it cost you? And if it's, like, really easy, and there's a lot to gain, pretty much everyone takes advantage of you. And then, like, most of them do it subconsciously, and then be like, oh, no, but I never would have. But, then there are obviously a lot of guys who do it like consciously as well. And I think it's like, there's a good reason why I just, hang out with the people that know me from like when I had $0 in my bank account.
Right. You mentioned that you got scammed as well previous to January, December. So do you think that these sort of things that have happened to you over time have impacted you to the way you think right now when it comes to letting in new people or trusting new people or meeting new people?
No, not at all. I think, and that kind of, from that kind of perspective, I think it just, like, I just learned a lot of things that are really important. That you shouldn't give too much about reputation. You should always, I think, have your own image, especially if you are the main person involved. You shouldn't trust, like, you should take it into consideration, but you shouldn't rely on this one image that you have of this person based on like other people's perception. Like, it wasn't 2+2. Paul Beren, the PEDs, like famous live player back then, like he scammed me for quite a bit of money. And it was because he was like this hero when I started playing. Like, he was in a circuit, he grinded online forever. And yeah. Like, it was broke.
What was his name?
PEDs online, and Paul Berenda is his live name. But I mean, we settled it, and it's fine. He paid it back partly, and yeah, it was just like, I think my mistake was, and I didn't even think too much about what he was doing wrong. I just tried to figure out like what I was doing wrong, and I made a lot of things wrong. I just relied on something, and I never updated this kind of view, like on this perception on this person. And I never really, like, I just was blind in a way. And I think that was a very important lesson. I never got scammed since then. And it's like maybe 1.5 years ago now, or like 1 year. And yeah, it was a great experience in a way, because it taught me, that I'm just gonna, like, my approach right now is more quality than quantity. I have a much better feeling with it too. It feels so much better to have like people, that you like, I thoroughly enjoy seeing them succeed. Like, one of my good friends, for example, I like always bought this action for like 1.5 years now. And I think he's an exceptionally well poker player. And his name is Korai. He came third in the one drop. And like, he had issues with his Stars account. Like, they banned him for like the most absurd reason ever, and they didn't take off his ban. And we tried everything. Like, we talked to everyone, and then they unbanned him. He had a great year online. Like, he played really well. He crushed it. He almost won a bracelet. He came third in 100K, and now, you know, he's doing fine. And like, it's not just the money perspective, like, aspect that really makes me happy. Is like to see, you know, someone you've been playing poker with for like years now, to succeed and like be part of this success, because like, in a way, I gave my part to it, but like, it was him, you know, doing it. And I think that is one of the best feelings you can have.
Guys, we are live on YouTube, on Twitch. Let me get some shout outs and get some comments. You want to give any shout outs, Fedor, anyone that you think might be watching right now?
I mean, it's like 7 a.m. in Germany.
Well, they might be watching it back later on at a later date. Back on replay.
Yeah, I mean, just every single time again, like, shout outs to my crew. It's just, you know, these people are just amazing.
Master Nobody 03 says, I met Fedor down at the Aussie Millions railing the main event final. He's so genuine. I hope I didn't come off too fanboyish, but I probably did.
I actually remember him.
Wait, how do you remember his name?
I don't remember his name, but I remember I think it was only him coming. There were like 2 guys, and I think I know who he is. He was pretty fanboyish, but he was fun. Like, yeah, he was fun.
Oh man, let me see what else we got out there. David Kelly, Sky Hunter, Ace 9, Anthony Bynum, Chris Diaz, Puppy. How tall is this young man? How tall are you, Fedor?
Wait, let me translate that into your American thing. 5'11".
5'11". There you go.
5'10", 5'11", something like that.
5'10". So wait, what happened with that 50-year-old couple after you was it just a picture or was it something else?
No testing. Don't try to get any.
I don't know. Maybe they hit him with the real. I'm not sure what happened. Papi, I don't know. A few drinks in you, I don't know what happened, man. Okay. So a couple of people asked us on Twitter, how have the women been treating you, man? What's it like? Are they looking? They look. What's it? The ladder? I don't know what people are saying. Listen, I don't know what the lingo is, but what's it like now, man?
Right now, not much. I don't know. It's just today. Yesterday. It was actually pretty nice to just go on the lake and just be like someone normal, you know, like meet, like, for example, I went with a friend and like we chilled with some of his friends and I was just no one, and it was great. It was like so refreshing to just talk to people and like start at, you know, 0 and just know, like, and talk to girls and just be like, just have a nice conversation, like no one, you know, just nothing. Right.
No preconceived. They don't know anything about you going in. They don't know about your poker success or how much money you may or may not have won. None of that kind of shit matters to them. They just are meeting you as you as a person.
Yeah, and I was a student, and they were talking about their jobs, how much money they're earning, and whatever. It was just nice. It was just fun, and you know, you just had a nice conversation, and like, it didn't really matter at all. Like, it didn't matter where you came from or what you achieved. It was just like, you just had a fun day at the pool, like at the lake. So
it sounds like you had a lot of those interactions in Vegas that were the opposite of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people can not think about it. It's like, I think it's one of the sickest skills to have, to like completely shut this off, you know. Like, even if I meet Tom Dwan or something, like, I could have the most unbiased mindset of like, I will never forget, you know, seeing all these episodes I've seen of him. Like, you just have this picture of someone, and it's, you know, it's leading the way how you interact with this person. And I don't know, I just really enjoy having like random conversations about interesting topics. So like this kind of it's so tense, you know, like people try, they don't want to say something wrong, or like they want something from you, or like, it's just, I don't know, it's just very yeah, it's forced in a way.
They're trying to move up the ladder, Poppy. Isn't that what they say on social media these days?
Yeah, ladder.
You've been seeing this, man? I haven't actually talked about this in the podcast yet. What is this ladder? What are they talking about? What's this about? The ladder thing.
What do you mean?
I don't know. That people have been talking about on Twitter. There's a ladder. I don't even know what it really means. I'm not sure what it means. You've been seeing this?
No, I think I just read one post. That was it.
Your Twitter game's been strong, kid. You and Kate Hall, I swear to fucking God, you guys went to some goddamn Twitter workshop to make the most GTO tweets that get the maximum amount of engagement spaced out among the right time. I don't know. What'd you do? Did you take some course?
No, I don't know. I just post what I feel like is on my mind right now. And I think that is like if people, if just if just someone reads it or likes it, that's cool with me. Like some things are just, for example, I posted an article from Wait But Why that I just read for the third time, and it was just like, I love this article so much. It's just like something that I had probably hours and hours of conversations about and never got to like a good, good conclusion. And then this guy just writes it down. He just fucking nails it,
Right.
And it's sick. And I think things like that, if there's just one guy out there reading it and just, maybe changes his mindset a lot, then it's worth it.
Yeah, if you guys don't follow Fedor on Twitter, he's definitely one of the more entertaining people to follow on Twitter in the poker world for sure. His Twitter name is @CrownUpGuy, and the article he's referencing is on Wait But Why. You can just Google that, however you want to spell it, WAIT, and it's about, what is it about? It's about why we should stop caring what other people think.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty, like, the main thing about it is listen to your inner voice. Like, don't be defined by what other people say or think. And it's pretty much the main thing is we were like, our biological, like how we're programmed biologically is you have to belong to the pack, Don't get left out. You have to always do so that you fit into the group, and it's just not how things work today anymore. So you can be different. You can do your own thing. And that attracts more people than fitting in, because fitting in means most of the time not having an own opinion, and if you do have one, not voicing it because it might cause confrontation. And that is actually, those are the people that attract. Like, these are, they get the girls, they have the cool friends, So I think there are a couple of these people in poker and in life in general, and it's really refreshing to talk to them because they say what they think, and most of the time they have good opinions, interesting opinions.
Who like that stands out to you in the poker world right now?
There are a lot of these guys. Personally, I like Chewy a lot, but that's because he's very pure in this kind of sense. Like, what he thinks, he's just like completely showing it, and he would never feel bad about himself, and that's just like already itself such a great lesson to learn from. And then who else? There are a lot of these people. Eric Sadler, I think also. Just, we haven't really talked much, but just from like the way he carries himself, it's like just, I don't know, he teaches me something just by being there, and like the way, he thinks and like treats other people and like talks to other people. I feel like you learn something just from, observing this. I also really like Jason Kuhn. He's I feel like he's been through so many different stages of life. I feel like he's been so many different personalities in his life already. Mm-hmm. And he's smart enough to like combine the most important things of these stages he's been through, and that's very interesting because he always has a different perspective, like completely different to me, because we just have completely different backgrounds, but also very smart about things, empathic. So very interesting to talk to him. I could go on with this list for like a long time. Kate Hall, very interesting. Very interesting personality. Kate Hall.
Oh, Kate Hall. Oh, the King Kate.
But like, I've never seen anyone throw something as bad as her. Like that. That's literally. We played. I don't even know how to call this game. Like there are two teams on like left and right side, and then you have to throw these like it's sand in there. It's like little bags with sand in there, and you have to throw it in the thing.
Like beanbag toss, cornhole, whatever.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. Yeah, we played it. Oh my god! Like, no offense, it was so funny. We just had such a great time, but she was the worst of all time. The king.
We know how competitive you are when it comes to random games like that. So I can understand you were probably, if she was on your team, you were probably a little bit tilted by that.
No, it was like literally, there's the scale when you like someone is bad and you like, oh my god, like, okay, it's just fun, whatever, doesn't really matter, but it's tilting in a way. And then below that, when it's actually just hilarious because you can't believe that someone can throw that. But she herself, like, she found it super hilarious. Like, she laughed a lot too. It was just great. We just had a good time.
That's funny. Well, we did just have Kate on the podcast today, so we got to catch up with her about how her summer went. It sounds like she enjoyed herself very much out there this summer. Maybe in some different ways that you may have enjoyed yourself. So I guess now, where do you go from here? So now you're back home, you're taking a couple breaks, you're recharging, you're going by the lake. Are you going to be traveling to Barcelona? Are you going to be coaching someone in the $1 million Euro one drop event? Will you retire to play that event?
No plans yet. I mean, there are some interesting possibilities, but nothing really standing out so far. I mean, yeah, I don't know if any VIP is interested in crushing the $1 million buy-in or Euro buy-in. Let's fucking go.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna cut this out. Wait a sec. So wait, give your pitch to any high roller out there who wants to win the €1 million one drop. Give them your pitch right now. Go ahead.
My pitch: if you wanna win €8 million, just call me. I'm gonna teach you poker.
I'm pretty sure the prize pool is going to be like €40 million. I'm serious right now. I'm pretty sure the prize pool for that event is going to be like something fucking ridiculous, isn't it? If it's 60 players.
8 million for first. Don't you think that's, probably more. Probably 15 for first or something. I have no idea. Like, I don't know.
So if you're retired, why wouldn't they should let you play? Why wouldn't Guy let you play?
Yeah, man, you just like uncovered my secret plan. Retiring, like founding a business, and then I'm gonna be in the one drop as a businessman.
They're gonna let you in, kid. So you actually posted something on Twitter. You're excited about making #1 in the GPI Global Poker Index. So it seemed like that moment was pretty special for you. Yeah,
I just feel like there is literally, you have this goal, like my goal, like everyone sets a different goal. My goal was like, okay, poker, I always knew I'm not going to do it for like the rest of my life. I want to be financially set. I want to be like, okay, like buy my family a house. I did that. And just like have enough money so I can, because I know myself very well, and I know that it might happen that I might just want to pursue something that, where I don't really make much money for some time with. So that was really important to me. That was like my main goal. And then there are like all these other goals around, like kind of little achievements that you get on the side for some extra points, And so what were these kind of achievements? It's like online Pocket Fives #1. That was important to me. I grinded for that, and then it started life. I just wanted to be on the GPL #1 because it's just kind of like, it shows the commitment, because without the full-time grind, I mean, I played like, I did some rough math. I think I played like 500 tournaments in like 480 days or something. It's like, I went on a grind. Mm-hmm. And I played like one live tournament a day for like 1.5 years or something on average, which is just I felt like, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, I don't know. It just shows me that it's not all luck. I dedicated a lot of time and a lot of work to it. And it's this kind of, yeah, like winning a trophy. It's just nice, you know. It's like reminds me of all these hours that I put into it. Like I just, whenever I see it and I'm like, wow, that was nice. That was like worth it, you know, and that will carry on into whatever I'm doing in the future. And I'll be like, you know, it will be worth it. At some point, all this hard work will be worth it. And it doesn't matter what like other people say or what they think or how good they think I ran. I know I fucking worked hard, and I worked harder than most of the other people. And I definitely know that I work harder than most of the people that are below me, you know, and that's just a very good feeling. And from this feeling, you can get some confidence about not caring about what other people, you know, say about me, whether that was just all lucky and I'm the, like, you know, I'm running the hottest of all times. I don't really care that much anymore.
Dare I say GTO approach, Poppy? Dare I say? Man, I can't believe you're going to be running a country in like 5 years. It's going to be sick, honestly. I mean, I don't like. What do you foresee a couple years from now? Like, what do you feel like? And we're doing this podcast in 5 years, which may not be. It'll be like the GTO. Like I don't know what it's going to be called, but it might not be called Poker Life. It might be called something else. What do you foresee yourself doing in 5 years?
What I feel like I want to be involved in is something more social, like more interaction that requires like a certain, how do you say that? Like your profession, like the profession I want to pursue has to include some social interaction as like the part of the job kind of. Whatever that's going to be, I don't know yet, but I don't want to like, for example, trading stocks would be no. You know, right. Just sitting in front of the computer, I know I could be good at it. And someone offered me a pretty good job at it too. I just like, I knew from the first one, I was like, no, thanks. Like I can't do this, you know. It's just the same thing as poker pretty much. Even more emotional detachment, just like being cold, like doing the right thing, thinking about the long run. No, I want to, you know, work with something that is more, that just has this exponential, completely, like, you have no idea what humans are capable of, you know, you never know how someone's going to develop or like what he is capable of doing. And I just love this randomness, just something that you can't really foresee, you know, like putting time and effort into a human being and then getting something in return that just blows your mind. That's like, for me personally, like the best feeling ever. Like teaching someone something.
Sounds like you could be a full-time seminar teacher then. Working with people that way.
Yeah. I think I don't really like the lot of people approach. I like more the personal level approach because I like to get involved with the way they think about things, and for that I have to spend more time just getting to know them better. And I mean, my option to study was always psychology, and I read a lot of books about it, and I was always interested in it. And my mother works in this area, and she's one of the most empathic persons I know, and I think I have a lot of that too. And it's just really interesting because they will always be different, you know. There's no like, you can't really put them into like a group and just do your thing and then that's it. Like if you want to have the best results, you have to be like individual with every single person. And I feel like that's something I always missed in my life, that people are more individual and just take care more of like a single person. And that's why I feel like this is something I could be working in, because it's something I like to advertise for.
Well, speaking about seminars, so you had the seminar thing that you put out, the flyer, the wizard toaster you put out. So it was a seminar. What is it? 50 people or 75 people capped? What was the cap for the course?
It's 50 right now, but like this is something I'm not entirely sure this is going to happen. Like I will have to think about that.
Why not? What do you mean? Why wouldn't it happen?
Because I'm about like a third through the whole thing, and I did a lot of work for it. I mean, it requires like a lot of preparation. I have to like, it's pretty much the way I wanted to do it was just like give pretty much a full solution to the basics of all of it. Like what to open, what to 3-bet, like what to 4-bet, what to defend, like a lot of like, I think people underestimated how much you can take from these kind of things. Like if I do personal coaching, I did maybe 80 to 100 different people so far, or like 60 to 80 maybe. And there was only like, there were maybe 2 or 3 where it didn't have like a lot of things to criticize in their pre-flop game, like various things, just like simple things. And I think that's already like, if you give this to mid-stakes players, it's going to boost their ROI by like quite a bit if they implement this into their game. And the reason why I'm not entirely thrilled about it right now is because I would have to work and think about poker. And that's something I'm not, entirely into right now.
I mean, it's a lot. They're paying, what they pay, $1,500?
Yeah, but I mean, I think only one person has paid the full amount so far. So,
Yeah. For those who don't know, we're talking about a seminar. Fedor put out a post on social media a couple months back about a seminar. He was going to do a 4-hour course with him and Elliot Rowe, containing various things. So that's what we're speaking about right now. So Elliot Rowe, he's been, it seems like he's had a positive impact on you going into the summer. Can you talk about what kind of impact he had on you with your game and with your mindset and with your approach to poker into life?
Yeah. I mean, I had a mental coach before him, and he helped me out a lot. And then I somehow got to Elliot. I don't even remember how, but like it was maybe a year ago, probably, maybe even longer. And he's just a very good person to talk to. Like it's kind of, you just release a lot of stress and you organize your thoughts. And then you just get this extra dedication, like you have this goal and there are always things that are distracting you, maybe people, maybe a downswing, maybe yourself. And it's always simple because there will always be an answer. And let's say I ask you like, Papi, why are you not playing well? What's happening? And then you will have an answer. And then it's about how to interpret that answer. Like you will say something, but you might not entirely understand what you actually mean when you say that. And then he asks a follow-up question. He's like, does that have to be like this? Or why, what specifically is it? And then you realize, oh, maybe it's like this. Yeah, maybe that's the thing that is actually the root of the problem. Maybe it's not, the variance. Maybe it's myself. Maybe it's like me just being too hard on myself or something like that. And then in addition to that, it doesn't end there. It's like he also does this hypnosis that puts you in, I mean, he's talking to you. Like we're Skyping and I think it's called like hypnosis or something. Well, like in actuality, he puts you in a very relaxed mental state by just talking to you. He has a great voice. And you can really feel that it's probably the deepest way of relaxation I've ever been in. And you can really feel that you have that your thoughts are just more simple, they're like emotionally just broken down to like the things that matter. And then he just walks you through this and then he kind of fixes that thing, whatever is bothering you. And that's just really strong. I mean, I just remember we did some sessions before final tables and I was like so focused and so ready to crush. And, you know, even if it doesn't have like the sickest impact, because I mean, it's a 1 hour session and we only talk maybe like once every 2 weeks or something. It's not like he's gonna change your life, but it just boosts your like capacity for like some time, and like it orders your like thoughts. It's just, I think for like an enhancement, if you play on a high level, it's mandatory, I would say. Like all in kind of like working with someone in that way is mandatory, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are going to hear that and be interested in maybe working with him now, because I know he's gotten a lot more publicity lately for working with guys like Brian Rast and someone like yourself. So interesting. Maybe when you get him on the podcast, it seems like.
You should, for sure. He has some interesting things to talk about.
Yeah. Interesting. That might be a guy I need to hit up. Let's do some of these rapid fire Twitter questions here that we got from people. All right. What the hell? All right. Let me see. Donnie Peters saying you're overrated. and you made a tweet about that.
I think I've met him once in my life or something, and not even. I'm not entirely sure actually. Maybe we've just seen somewhere. I've listened to the podcast, and it was pretty much, I don't know if you've listened to it, but like it was pretty much Remco just like saying, you know, I'm the best, and he was saying like, no, it's overrated. So, and then it was just like the way he was talking. First of all, his tone, I think, was like, maybe it's the way he wants to set up the show, I don't know. But like it was, I felt like it was slightly offensive, you know, just like, no, I don't give a fuck about this dude. That was already like a little bit like, okay, I don't even know you, you know? Like, I'm not saying like, oh, this guy's overrated as a reporter. It's like, I've never read anything from him. Like, who's that guy? Like, you know, like, I don't even get like, why do you even say something like that? Okay, whatever. I was like, okay. And then he went on to talk just like some really random stuff about like what I should do, you know, like, why is he just playing all these high rollers? You know, he should play mixed games. He should go in like a 10K horse or play like a 50K players championship. That would be the thing, you know, like advertise other games and stuff. I'm just like sitting there and I'm thinking like, why would he ever say something like that? You know, like it's completely obvious why I'm just, you know, sticking to high rollers and Hold'em. It's because there's a lot more money in there. And I'm not going to learn a game to play like a 10K event in WSOP with like 100 runners and make like $2K for like one event a year and like 2 scoop events or something. So like, you know, it's just like this completely random thing to just find arguments about ranting about something. It's like, yeah, play it for fun, you know, because Hold'em, limit Hold'em is like the most fun event in the world, you know. It's you bet, oh yeah, call, bet, call, yeah, bet. Oh,
bang bang. I mean,
I don't know. Like, it's just obviously it's all different point of views. But I personally, I found it a really weird discussion, and I didn't get most of it. I wasn't offended or anything. I just didn't get his like. I actually agree with one of the things he was saying, and I think afterwards he talked about it like a little more serious, and that's why I thought that he was like putting up a little bit of a show in the beginning to make it more of a, you know, like good guy, bad guy kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Because Remco he was like a little bit emotional about it, you know, like he was really defending me, and that was kind of sweet. Because I love Remco. He's like such a big guy. You can just see that he loves what he's doing and just super positive all the time. And then he was a little bit more serious. It was like, you know, it's small player fields, you can rebuy, and it's like, you know, it happens. And that was what I was saying all the time too. It's like the run is not that insane. It's just insane that it happened on like the highest limits in that time span. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm super grateful, and it was the perfect timing for me. but I don't think that it's like, 1 in a million chance or something. I think people like overhype it a little at some point. Yeah, that's my whole take on this thing.
There was also something posted on 2+2 about you. You had an outburst at a table at a live event, and you mucked angrily, or you threw a car. What did you do? You threw your chips, right? And there was this big thread on 2+2 about that. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I think I already talked about that somewhere. It was just like, I know, like at some point, it's really hard to explain because I don't even know exactly what happened. I mean, I thought about it a lot, and I want to make sure that nothing like this happens again, obviously. I was quite ashamed, to be honest. Like I was, so what happened, to recap it, is I don't even remember, like 10 left or 11 left in the 10K, something like that, in Monte Carlo, and I play a hand against Fedor, and we're in a huge pot, and he ends up having a hand that I think was so what happens is we're in a 4-bet pot, and I have kings, like 3 undercards, monotone board, and I have like pot left pretty much, and then we get it in on the turn, and the turn pairs the board, and then I shove, and he calls, and I ask him, do you have aces? And he says no. So I'm like, okay. And I have him like always beat pretty much at this point. And then he turns around to flush with like queen 9 suited, and I'm like, I was just like, in this moment it just snapped, like, because it was so weird, like it was such a tense hand because the whole tournament was like so intense, like only regs, and we were just like fighting the whole day. And then like I was like playing pretty tight, and I knew exactly in the spot, he's gonna give it to me. So then it happens like this, and I ask him, do you have aces? And then he says no, and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna win the hand, kind of. And then like in the next second he tables his hand, and I'm like, fuck this, And it just snapped for a second, and like I didn't even realize till I saw the video how the chips flew. I was just like standing up and like was super tilted. And like a second later, literally I stood up, and like a second later my whole face just like went, like on fire. And I was like so ashamed because I didn't realize what just happened. And I just walked away, and then like the worst thing happened. Like the river is another 3, so like I make a full house and I win the hand. And I was like, they call me back, and I sit down, and I was just like sitting there, and I didn't say a word for an hour. I was just like, sorry, Phil. And that was it. And I was like, I didn't really know what to say. I didn't even want to say anything else. I was so in shock, and I don't know. Yeah, it was just a moment like completely not characteristic for me. And I think that's why people, like
that thread was amazing, Fedor, because the comments on there, they're like, oh, this was bound to happen. We're waiting for some. I mean, it's just, I couldn't believe some of the comments some of the people were making in there. So I think I did post in the thread because I was like, come on, man. We all get angry sometimes. We all get upset. Like, it happens, man. He came in here, he owned up on his mistake. He apologized. I don't feel like, I mean, I guess I understand why people kept saying things about it, but like, I mean, a lot of people do these things and they don't come up and own it and say, I'm going to try to work at this in the future. And you came in there and you said like, hey, I fucked up. It happens.
I mean, I think it's just a ton of pressure as well. Like, nothing but first place is good enough. You always have to perform really well. You can never, nothing can ever happen. Like, sometimes, like, I'm not perfect at all. Like, the only thing actually that was so sick and like so important to me was like Phil, he didn't even care that much. Like, he was so cool with it. And that was like, so, I don't know. I found that very impressive. And at that point, like, I knew there was some shit coming, but I didn't even care too much. Like, that will always be like, they will always find a way to talk shit about me. So I will just make sure that I feel good about it, and way more important that he feels good about it. And I recognize it as a mistake that should just not happen again. And I think that's the important lesson.
We got someone in the chat. Animal Lover says, he said, hello. No, I'm actually not going to ask that question. He said, is your podcast about not poker per se, but personal gossipy stuff about poker players? So technically, Animal Lover, the podcast is about all things related to poker. So there's a lot more things than just like Fedor. When you flopped the nut flush against the guy's second nut flush, when the only limp of the final table, the one drop happened, you happen to limp behind with king X of hearts, and it happened to come 3 hearts on the flop. Like, sure, we could get into that hand. We could, but the podcast isn't about specific poker strategy. You can get those on any other poker podcast out there. This is about things related to poker in some fashion. And that's what it's about, man. You want something else? You want to break down a hand? Believe me, there's a lot of other things out there in the poker world for yourself to go check out. But how about that hand, Fedor? How about that how good, man? How good do you run, honestly? So the one time the guy limps at the table, you happen to limp. What'd you have? Ace-X suited, right on the button.
Hearts, yeah.
Right. You just happen to limp in. You don't isolate ace-10 suited. You happen to limp behind on the button. Flops 3 hearts. The guy's got the king high flush in the big blind. Joe McKeon, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean,
good life. Yeah, that tournament was insane. Like, that was this moment where I felt, like, it's weird, but like I felt a little bit ashamed. I was like, when you kind of like, you don't want to win this way kind of thing, like it was just too sick. It was just like, I mean, I think I played pretty well in the beginning, and then it was just like from like 18 million to like 60. It was just like this in like 5 minutes, and it just like sucked out on everyone.
Right. It's like flip, something else.
No, maybe not flip.
Hey, whatever. Listen.
Maybe not. But like, I had some outs.
Yeah. Happens, Poppy. What a way to wrap up the summer, man. What a way. I mean.
Yeah.
What if you just retired on that note? What if that was it?
What do you mean?
What if that was just it? That was the last event of poker you ever played.
I don't think so. It's already, I have to say, I think it's going to be tough. I think it's tough to not, because it's really tough to find different things to do. Like, you have to start from zero right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, poker just eats up all your time, So, I mean, I did some sport activities here, but like not too much. And then like besides that, what do? You hang out with poker players and you play poker. So
right.
Fill all these hours now with something else. That's kind of challenging.
For sure.
But
maybe you can become a professional martial artist. And
I was thinking about doing something like that. Not like a professional martial artist, but like maybe going to like a retreat somewhere in Asia. That sounded pretty cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I always admired like these cultures. I always love to read stories about samurai or man, that movie, The Last Samurai. I love it. Or have you seen it?
I've seen it, but I don't remember it. Speaking about just that stuff, though, a lot of people go on these Asia backpack tours where they go through, they travel and they go through all the different countries in Asia. They stay in various places. I mean, is that something that potentially you might want to do?
Oh, I already did that, but it just didn't feel right.
Oh yeah, that was when you did the was that with the Africa stuff, I believe, something like that related to that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was like, I mean, I did like Vietnam, Cambodia, and like Thailand. I mean, obviously there's a lot more to discover, but like I feel like my approach wasn't like, just didn't get me like the best experience out of this. I feel like I want to do something more, be part of the community kind of thing.
Right.
Because I feel like in Asia, it's like Asians, you know, they stick together in most of the situations, they stick together, and then tourists just get like ripped off wherever they can. And that was a fight. Like every week was just the same fight. You know, you have to. I don't know how many times I had the same like discussion about the price. Like literally, we were like, there are these tuk-tuks, you know, these little drivers that drive you around everywhere, and they always start like, when depending on how far you wanna go, they always start like $2 or $1. Yeah. So if you go far, it's like $2. If like it's close, $1. But every single time, you have this discussion for like 2 or 3 minutes about the price. It's like literally every single time the same discussion. It goes the same way as well. It's like, no, it's not $1. I'm gonna pay you like 30 cents or something. And then he's like, no, $1. I'm like, no, I'll walk or go further. Then he's like, no, $1. Everywhere, $1. Like, yeah, sure. And then you walk like 3 meters, and he's like, okay, let's go. It's just so draining. I don't know. It just was a very, very draining trip. And
hashtag third world problems, Poppy, or second world problem. I don't even know what world that. What world is that? Third world?
Hard. I don't know. I don't. Probably. Yeah, probably. I don't even know what second world is. What is second world? Like, probably some South American countries.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Animal Lover said, somebody said, your guests are the best poker players in the world. I want to be like when I grew up, so I want to know how they did it, not about strategy. Well, technically, this is Fedor's 5th or 6th time on the podcast. So if you want to hear how he got here, go back and check out on my channel on YouTube. You can go back and listen to the first podcast me and Fedor did together, and that story is in there for you to consume, Animal Lover. You'll be able to learn exactly how he did it, and then one day you can become Fedor Holz yourself, make your screen name CrownUpGuy. And then what about that CrownUpGuy screen name on Stars? You've seen that, right?
Yeah, that was funny. It was like the most random thing ever. Like literally, I don't even, like, I still can't believe until today. I think that story didn't get enough love. Like, so we're in Vienna and we go bowling, and there's this WPT thing going on. And we're bowling and everyone's having drinks because it's a WPT party. So we're bowling there with like a couple of friends, like some people from Vienna. And then next up is like 3 people bowling, and I know one of them. And I played with like another guy before. So like, you know, we're chilling, we're talking to them, and one of my guys, they all live in Brighton, I think. So like one of my friends lives in Brighton as well. And so they're talking to each other, and they're like, I come over and I'm like, hey, what's up? So I knew one of the guys that is like a known high 6 German online MTT player. And then I was like talking to him, I was like, yo, what's up? And then like I turned to the other guy, I'm like, yeah, hey, what's your name? And he's like, Yost. And so I'm like, hey, what, like, so you're a poker player as well? Yeah, sure. And oh, you guys live together? Yeah, we do. And I was like, what's your online name? And he's like, CrownUpGuy. And I'm like, that's funny. It's like, no, I'm serious. CrownUpGuy. I was like, what the? And obviously he knew mine. So it was like so hilarious. And he's a great guy. He's like, he was so nice. He's like he was like maybe this tall or something, maybe slightly taller, shorter. And yeah, it was just so funny. So yeah, that was pretty random.
So you met the guy out and he said, my screen name's CrownUpGuy.
Yeah, and it actually is him. So
Jesus,
no
Christ.
troll.
Wow.
And he's pretty good too. He's like, I know his former screen name, and he's a pretty good player.
What do you mean? No, it's former screen. What does that mean?
He was allowed to change because like when you switch countries, like sometimes they make you change your screen name. It's like when you switch from EU to .com or from .com to EU, sometimes they want you to switch your screen name. You never heard of that? No? I think it depends on how famous you are, or like how often you play the same games. For example, sit and go players, they're not allowed to change. But like tournament players, they're allowed to change when they move from like a .com country to a .eu country sometimes. No cheats, nothing going on.
Let's change the fucking subject here. So I recently had Jason Moe and Doug Polk on the podcast. They said there are these Fedor bots out there, these German poker players who are like in the Fedor camp. They have much better fundamentals than the American players. They control their emotions better than the American players. They're significantly better than the American players. Now,
you mean in live tournaments?
And live tournaments, and just in general, in life in general, they said as well too. Can you speak on this? The Fedor bots. This is the first time I heard about the Fedor bots.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's I don't know, very bad description, but like, I mean, it's the same story again. I don't think we talk too much about that. So like, it's this group of my friends. We call ourselves TGK. It's like some mixture of some last names. Team Gatsby Campino. For you to learn. And I just feel like it's the perfect combination of like content. Like we started like maybe 3.5 years ago. And we have one guy that went from like 1 cent, 2 cents, or 2 cents, 5 cents to 100, 200 in 3.5 years. He's like one of the best cash game players out there right now.
What's his screen name?
Yeah, Goose Core.
Okay.
He's traveling with us as well, grinding the circuit and stuff now. That we talked him into playing some live stuff. He caught the fire. Mm-hmm. He's on the grind now. And then it's Reiner. When I met him, he was playing like mostly on party, I think, and sit and goes. And I mean, his development is pretty sick too. Then we have Korai doing really well right now too. We have another German guy. He's been like, he won a WPT. He's been doing like really well online. And I think when I met him, he was like pretty much the same spot I was in. So like, didn't have too much, I think. And like now he's living in Vienna and like having a pretty good life, I think. And then, as far as I can tell. And who else do we have? We have former heads-up player who was playing high stakes. Like literally all the guys, they just made it from, like low stakes in that time to like the highest possible stakes. And we have we have another W Coupe main winner in there the year before me. I think divided between and obviously we have one of the best sit and go players, high stakes sit and go players, Ben CD 789. He's like crushing it for like a long time now too, and I think he wasn't playing that high either. So it's like I feel like and we spent some like time in like different locations together. We played in Canada, the school for like 6 weeks or something, just like constant content. Like we Skype a lot, used to Skype a lot in the past, did like, hand history reviews, just talking constantly about hands. And I just feel like we had such a great mix of like these different approaches, Like I think, for example, that we're the group with by far the best short stack game like out there. And I think that what helps us a lot in the live scene. And just because these people, they work so hard and they never held anything back, when you found out about something or like a really nice jam spot or something, or where people were just playing really bad in the past, or like whatever thoughts they had, they were just like, just like, let's go and talk about it. And I feel like that's not normal in the poker community. Like on a high level, a lot of people, they just talk to one person and they don't really want to share with others, and like no way you can share it with anyone else. And we were just this kind of group, and we just all made it in a way. Mm-hmm. And that's a really, really sick feeling. And I think we also supported each other really well. Like everyone always had a piece of everyone else. So the guys with more money bought like action of the other guys and made sure, that like everyone is playing like at his capacity, and always like teaching each other different things. So like, yeah, I think we made a list at some point, and I think we won pretty much every major that you can possibly win, like on PokerStars, combined with like 7 or 8 players. I think we won. Like I think there's one missing or something. Like every possible, I think probably even every possible tournament you can win on PokerStars we won combined. And it's, yeah, the winning graph was also really, really sick. Yeah.
So the Fedor bots are a real thing.
I mean, I would say that it's more like boost score bots. He taught us the most, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me do some rapid fire questions here from Twitter, because we got a lot interesting in Twitter. We talked about that one. What are you most passionate about besides poker? Will Deacon asks. Rapid fire.
Soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Both playing soccer or following soccer?
Playing.
Playing. Okay. That's a noob question. Nope. Noob question. What do you do for fun outdoors? Edward Areola asks. Ski, hike, run, bike, climb.
Hike.
Snowboard.
Bike. No climbing.
No climbing, no rock climbing, anything like that?
Haven't done it, but I like indoor climbing.
Indoor climbing. Dan O'Brien says, how do you do it? Also, can you help me do it?
Is he a November 9er? I mean, I don't know. How do I do it? Just be... No, that was a joke. Just try to be as efficient as possible. I think that's the huge league of a lot of people. Like, spend an hour and actually just like spend 10 minutes. Whereas I feel like a lot of hours I spent after like my 3rd year, where I just had these like, I built up a pool of resources, like really good resources, whether it's training sites that I think produce the best content, or people that I think just have the best content. And, you know, if I want to know about something, I always knew where to get it. I was like, I have a problem, I know how to fix it. I got to use, I knew how to use all these programs, whether it's HRC or like ICMizer or whether it's PO Solver or whatever. I just wanted to be capable of fixing whatever, problem I have. And set this base of resources, and then I have a problem, I can fix it immediately. And people have a problem, and you have to learn how to fix the problem first, and then that takes hours, and then you don't really want to continue. So have a really good base of people, resources, and programs that help you, and I think then you're set.
Dare I say GTO? B-Trail says, who have you been dating?
Lately, no dates.
No chess, Poppy?
No dates.
Been on the grind a little bit. All right. T. Clark says, I'd love to hear what the poker scene in Germany is like.
It's big. Everyone knows each other, I think. They're just a couple of... I think I met the first German group that I didn't know. There were 3 Germans, and I've never seen them before. And they play, they used to play high stakes. And I was like, what? What's going on? It's maybe 5 or 6 different groups or something. The old school high stakes regs, then a bunch of people living in Vienna playing mid to high stakes. Then my group that is somewhat connected to the mid to high stakes group. And then who else do we have? Then there are some German cash gamers and some German PLO players. I think that's the main groups.
Which PLO players are in the group?
I don't
David and Sebastian and Dimadu.
I don't really know them, to be honest. Someone told me they're playing in a Bellagio and a couple of German high stakes PLO players. I didn't know them.
Okay.
But I mean, supposedly, I don't know.
Okay. Let's see. Noob. Have you considered Benjamin Alvarado says? Have you considered going to the university after poker?
Yes, but not gonna happen.
Not going to be able to do it. 12 Pill says recent book suggestions.
Recent book suggestions. I actually wrote something down. I have this app called Audible for like
books on tape. Yeah.
So what I have, really good book. Put this on. Really good book I've read is The Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin. Really good book. Like, also, like, reminded me so much of my childhood. Chess player, talking, I mean, he's way better than me, but like the feelings he described when he was talking about getting out of chess were so similar to mine when I got out of chess. Just like someone trying to teach you in a way that you're just not capable of learning in this kind of specific way, like sit down, learn kind of thing. And I never could do that. I always needed like a way of like playing around, and yeah. Thinking Fast and Slow, that was pretty good. The Most Important Thing by Howard Marks. Yeah, I don't want to throw too much out there.
What was the last book called?
The Most Important Thing.
The Most Important Thing.
Marks. Yeah.
And my buddy Jonah Bella in the chat, by the way, give a shout at him. Shout, what's up, puppy? What's happening, buddy?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and then, I don't know, I have a lot of books on here, but these are ones I can. The Man's Guide to Woman, obviously.
The what?
No, it's a book about relationships. It's not
what's the name of the book called?
The Man's Guide to Woman, but like.
The Man's Guide to Women. Fedor, is that the secret, Poppy?
It's really good for relationships. Just for friends too. It's mainly about pay attention, listen, try to understand. Don't be too invasive. Some things, that help in life. It's a pretty good book. I can recommend it.
That's a secret, huh, kid?
I know. I think you can learn a lot from books.
I definitely agree with that. Do you listen to most of your books on Audible, or do you read most of them?
I like reading more, but I just never have them with me. So it's also a lot of stuff to carry around.
Right.
And I tend to lose things regularly.
Let me get a couple shout outs here on YouTube. The YouTube people are crying in the chat about shout outs, even though I banned this guy 3 times. Xmoda, what's up, puppy? Noel Hastings. How can you play chess without being invasive? Diego Gola, I'm not a look sack. Rins, I seen one of your hands from Aussie Millions last year. You flopped a flush and time banked. I was amazed at how well you played the hand. Then I heard you now, a very psychological player, and this hand shows why. That's obviously for you.
That was a good hand. I like that one.
My buddy Nick Glenn, what's up, Nick Puppy? Check Raise, mate. What's up, Check Raise? Jay McGuire says, I recommend great courses on Audible to Fedor. Has he listened to those?
Again?
I recommend great courses on Audible to Fedor. Has he listened to those?
Great courses?
Correct.
No, never heard of that. Let me see.
Never heard of it either. Tyler Benz, what's up, puppy? Since you're streaming, I'm leaving at my house and going to grind at the Hard Rock. Good luck to you, man. Joseph D. Babez says, first time viewer right here. What's up, puppy? What's going on, man? JITV Designs, what's up? Tim F, what up, what up? You're not too late yet. You're not too late yet. Lopez says, Fedor, you're a legend, man. Greetings from Mexico.
Greetings to Mexico.
Shout out to Mexico, man. You on that MGG, the LGG?
Latina?
Yeah, Latina.
No, not yet.
They're big into salsa dancing down there, Fedor. I went to some, did some Mexican dancing.
I think down there my skills, wouldn't have the same effect. They're used to better dancers, I think.
That's true, man. Those Latino people can dance, men and women. They're pretty good dancers.
It's crazy, yeah.
They're very sick dancers. Let me look up on Twitch and YouTube again, or on Twitter. Most of the Twitter questions we kind of already talked about for the most part here, in some fashion or the other. But we had a lot of them. No, we kind of talked about that already. Talked about that. Are you still playing 5100 against the end bosses at the cash games?
Why?
Are you still, or why? Well, I mean, I kind of know why you did, but yeah, I guess talk about that a little bit more.
Easy. So there are two reasons why I played. First of all, I think overall in my career, I think it was plus EV because they taught me a lot about poker. I worked hard on my game. And I think transitioning this into very high buy-in tournaments, like even paying them, like 15, 20K in EV can immediately pay off in like a 300K. Like could already be enough, So, I mean, I played maybe like 15,000 hands or something, maybe more, 20 maximum. And I went in there with like the feeling of, or like the expectation of losing maybe like 1 to 2 big blinds per 100.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was worth it. That's the simple explanation. And I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. It probably made me play more because I enjoyed poker more. It made me play better because it teaches you a lot. It made me do more content in a time where I wasn't really like into grinding, and I worked a lot off the table. Like there was one session where I did like, I think I played 10 hours and then I grinded content for like another 15, just analyzing every player that I played against, like whatever they did. Also, I really enjoyed reading through the high stakes threads and like how they play their hands. It's so annoying how often I say like. I try to cut down on it, but for us Germans, it's a good filler word. So
what's annoying?
Did I say like so much?
Oh, I haven't really noticed it too much.
No? I say it a lot. So it was so much fun too. And I did really well. That was fun part too. So, yeah.
So do you maybe plan on playing more of high stakes cash?
Not really, no. Why should I play if there's not much?
Right.
Has to be really high entertainment value to justify playing. Not enough DJ in me, I think.
Right.
I don't know. Sometimes I have it and then it just like quickly is gone.
The desire comes and then it goes.
Yeah, I never, sometimes you feel this, like, let's flip big or something, but then after one time, it's like, yeah, I don't know, I don't really get much out of this.
I just kind of want to go read now after hearing some of these book recommendations now.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, spend my day. Like,
is that what you're doing today? You're going to go down to the river?
Today actually is a Skype day. I have a session with my boy, and then I'm going to talk to someone about some opportunities, and then I try out a place for my birthday party. So let's check if they have some good food and good drinks over there.
Got to test it out. Got to go run the sim while you're there, right?
For sure. See if it's a GTO place.
We're getting a lot of questions in the chat today, guys. A lot of questions that have been brought up. We've either talked about in this podcast or on past podcasts. You can find on my YouTube channel too. Kind of like the beginning of the Fedorness. So a lot of the stuff we've already discussed in length in previous episodes. So So yeah, I guess that's the answer to a lot of those things in there. We also got a lot of noob questions, and I understand we got a lot of noobs out there, but I can't ask a lot of the noob questions. They're very noob questions. So
ask one of the advanced Joey questions then.
The advanced, the pro, or you mean you're pro, you're noob, that's life.
GTO.
I mean,
GTO questions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like there's some fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. You bring all the noobs to the chat, I gotta say. They want to know how can I be the best tournament player in the world? I think they want to know.
Yeah, it's always
what
the
can
same.
They do, Fedor? Give them 2 pieces of advice. What can they do?
It's the same thing for everything. I don't think there's a specific thing in poker that you have to do different. Just work hard. Just put in the hours. Put them in good. Like, there's nothing else to say. Just work hard and work efficient, and then you get a reward. It's like leveling up Pokemon, you know. Pokemon Go. You played it?
Well, that's a question that's been getting in the chat. They want to know if you play it.
I do. Man, I have free time now. Of course I play it. Running around, catching some Pokemon.
I've never played it, I gotta be honest with you.
But I don't really think it's such a bad analogy, because it's really hard. I think the efficiency part is like huge. People underestimate it so much. How much of a difference it makes to put in 2,000 hours a year and just dabble around and play and like just grind and, you know, do the same thing and then like play roulette and lose half your bankroll and whatever. Or if you go out there and you're like, okay, how can I spend my time in the most efficient way?
Efficiency. How to spend your time in the most efficient way. I need to read a book on that.
I mean, it is huge. It's like you have a plan, you set it up. What do I need? And then repeat until you're a master. And most of the people, they don't have the plan. Then they find a problem. And then they're like, how do I solve this? And then some are like, maybe not. Let's just not solve it. Try something else. And others, they take hours and hours till they find something or someone that can like slightly help them. And then it takes hours and hours more until they like solve it. And then they didn't even establish like the basis. And then next time a similar problem comes up, and then they have to do the same thing over again. And they just waste hours and hours on like a simple thing.
Efficiency. Okay. My buddy Ross says, is Fedor set for life?
I don't know. It depends how you define that.
No one's ever answered that question. That's a classic Odd Oddson question. Fedor, would you say you're set for life? That's a Odd Oddson. He's a PLO, high stakes PLO player. That's a question he likes to ask people. No one ever says maybe.
No, I don't think I'm set for life. Financially, I am. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. Well then, financially set for life. All right, let me find one of these. What level are you, Fedor, in Pokemon Go?
Only 13, but I know I didn't. I just downloaded it 2 or 3 days ago, and I didn't put too much time into it.
Why doesn't Fedor play the great game of Pot Limit Omaha? Does he not know there's 4 cards?
Honestly, there just never was a spot where I was like, okay, there's a lot of money to be made from me. No PLO tournaments. And
you played the 25K. I saw. I don't know, man. I saw you hop in the field there.
I think I wouldn't be too bad at the game. I mean, I stake someone for really high stakes PLO, and I've been talking strategy with him for a long time. I think I would be losing at PLO 500 online, but I don't think I would perform too much. I mean, I know the rake is insane, but I don't think I would perform too bad on like PLO 100 or 200. I don't think I'm like. I think I know pretty well what to open from what positions in terms of percentage and what to defend and these kind of things. Just the math basis, I think I have a decent understanding. And defending big blind and this kind of stuff, just picking up from like very smart people that play high stakes PLO. But just the post flop stuff, I'm not. I don't know. The whole equity stuff is just so different than in Hold'em.
Much different, yeah.
I think the whole thing about like having much closer equities makes you shove a lot more, and it's just so counterintuitive for us Hold'em players. Because in Hold'em, you just always call instead of shove, because equities are so much further apart.
Right. Yeah, could be a new challenge, Fedor. It's a great game. I mean, listen. 4 card. I mean, think about how much fun a kid like yourself has with 2 cards. Now you add 2 more cards. I mean,
Same game.
Yeah, but the stakes, just probably aren't. I mean, the live games are pretty high for cash games, but you can also find live Middleman Hold'em cash games that are pretty high stakes too. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think from a financially point of view, would be like one of the worst things to start this right now. And in terms of enjoyment, I don't know. I think it's kind of the same thing.
No, PLO is a way more enjoyable game. You have 4 cards. It just is. Favorite? Oh, interesting question, Andrew. Favorite category of porn? Okay.
What?
Andrew Mills. Let me read that. Make sure that. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I read that correctly.
Is that a mixture, or are these 2 different questions? I'm not.
What is his favorite category of porn? No, I got it right. What is his favorite category of porn? He asks. It's a great question, Andrew.
I haven't watched porn in a long time.
What? No way! Come on,
Yes.
Are you tripping right
now?
I
have a bet going on. And
a pornography bet. Are you fucking serious right now?
And I can only suggest this to anyone out there. It's so much better. So much better. Really.
What's so much better? Wait a second. What's so much better?
It was in Melbourne, and we had this, like, he read this book about, it's a really good book. I don't remember the name right now. It's a psychologist, I think. I think it's her. She writes about how your brain gets changed by watching porn.
Okay.
And in such a way that you're not really sensitive to a lot of things anymore. And she does research. I hope it's her. I'm not entirely sure. So in this book, there's a lot of research about how it affects the brain and how you just don't really get stimulated or whatever. And he was like telling me about it. I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. I always had this feeling that the more you watch, like, the weirder it gets at some point, just not really being interested in a lot of things. So we were like, okay, 1K if you watch to the other person. And
wait a second, you're telling me you haven't watched porn since January?
Yes, confirmed.
Wow.
So just my experience out of this is you are a lot more way better in interaction with women. Way better. It's more natural. I feel like they're more attracted to you. Sex is better. It's just everything is just more intense. And I also feel like you have a lot less of these interactions that you just have for physical needs. Like when you talk to a girl that you're not really attracted to, but she's kind of hot and it's okay, and you talk to her for like way too much time. I'm out. No?
I'm out. No, I don't waste time with those things. Like if I'm not attracted to the person totally. I mean, I'm trying to think what you said. Porn, it increases the way that what does it say? You said it helps you when you talk to women. It helps you out. It makes you more in the zone or something, or what?
No porn. That's what I'm saying.
I gotta try this, man. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm already in the zone, man. I can't imagine being more in the zone. Bang bang.
I don't know. How often do you watch when you're in a relationship or something?
When I'm in a relationship? It's a different story. Now, if you're single and if you're in a relationship, it's two different things, I feel like.
Well, like, let's say you have something going on with girls. Like, how often do you watch them?
I use it to de-tilt sometimes, Fedor, and I play a lot of poker, so I don't know. A couple times. I watch it, the average male. The average
couple of times today? Was that what you're about to say?
I consume the average amount that a typical male may consume.
Average, like a couple of times a day?
I don't know, man. It depends, man. I'm traveling in Vegas. I might not. You might be a couple of days, you know? I'm on the grind out there. I'm playing a lot of chess. I can't help it. You know, I've got to retain my grandmaster status on the road. So
that's true. Status is important.
We need to make a bet. I mean, maybe I need to make a fucking bet. A no porn bet.
I don't know.
How do they check? Is it just on? Is it just, what is it? How do you?
There's
how do
one
you
exception. There's one exception. You're allowed to watch it together with a girl.
You're allowed to watch it. Wait, so is this? So wait a sec. Is this like no masturbation or no porn?
No, no porn. I mean, no masturbation. That would be insane. Like.
Well, that's what I'm. Okay, so it's different. Okay, so just no porn.
Yeah.
What if it's porn a girl sends to you?
That's fine.
Are you sure Are you sure that's okay?
I don't think we had that in the rules. No, but we were like talking about, you know, like online porn.
Okay. So a girl can send it to you.
Self-made?
Self-made, yeah, like she's made it herself, correct?
Yeah.
Listen,
I guess that's
some crazy girls, Fedor. I've been meeting some crazy girls, man. I'm telling you.
Met some crazy girls.
The videos they send you, you'd be amazed, puppy. I'm telling you, they're doing things in there you didn't even know they did in the videos, man. So, all right, I'm willing to make the bet. I want to make this bet. Who can I make this bet with? Someone in the chat said they'll give me 3.2 to 1. I'm in. I'll book 10,000. I'm ready to make the bet. You get.
It's not that hard. It's really not that hard.
Shut up, Fedor. No, it's hard. It's challenging.
It is really hard. It is extremely hard.
Let me make a bet. I'll send my history on all my thing. Well, I can delete it. I guess that's not a good one. I guess it's the honor system. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, we do it on the honor system too.
Yeah.
He probably watches porn all day.
Who does, your friend?
Just joking.
Oh. Yeah, we're gonna need to see someone to verify receipts. I know, for sure. How long are you doing this for? Forever?
Yeah.
Wow.
I really think it was just a lot better. It just got a lot better. Chess is just more enjoyable again.
So chess is more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well, I actually read something that I love this podcast, by the way, because you're getting like the full spectrum. You're like running through like if there's like a breakdown of things, we're literally running up the goddamn thing right now with these topics. So, but I read something in a book that if you don't watch porn or you don't masturbate, then you're more heightened around women when you meet women. So you're more into the interactions. Whereas if you know you can just go back home and watch that or do that,
exactly,
you don't put as much effort or care about some of the interactions you have with people, therefore kind of making you a little bit disconnected from people and also making sex overall less enjoyable because you're so used to this other sensation that helps you to get your fix or whatever.
You just described exactly what happened. It's just whenever I'm around afterwards, whenever I was around girls, you're just more interested, genuinely more interested. You listen better, and also I feel like they realize that instantly that you were just more, there, present.
All right, here's the bet. I got the bet right now. I'm going to put cameras in my entire place. I'm going to put cameras in my entire place. They'll be on 24 hours a day, okay? I ain't going to do it, okay? No, I'm not going to do it. Masturbate, porn. Wait, so, shit, man, that sounds impossible. Fuck it. I'm willing to take the bet. 1 month. I can't do it in my place.
For 1 month?
Well, what are you killing the action for? That's not, how is that not hard? How long you want to do it? How long you think I should do it for?
I don't know. Like rest of the year?
Rest of the fucking year, puppy. Okay, well, I guess if I do it for a month, then I'll do it for the rest of the year.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm willing to do it. And not 5 months. Holy fuck. Wait, I can't. Not even masturbation though.
I give you action.
You'll give me action on what kind of odds?
No odds. 1-to-1.
1-to-1. So no masturbation or just no porn?
No porn.
No porn. For the rest of the year.
I mean, on no masturbation, you get better odds. That's for sure. That's a bet I would like to see.
So no porn. Fuck it. I'm willing to take the no masturbation. I'm willing to take that bet, Fedor.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
That's the one I can give you. Okay.
I'm willing to do that one.
No masturbation in any way.
Except, I mean, I can have sex with women. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it can be with a woman. She might be doing other. I don't know.
But not even pleasing. You know, there's no like. Yeah, I give you that one. I give you 2-to-1.
2-to-1. You tripping? Well, I'm gonna need 3-to-1.
Okay, 3-to-1.
3-to-1. Okay, how are we verifying this though?
I mean, it's your honor.
Oh my god. What about the just porn one? 1-to-1?
No, 3. No, that's the only bet you can have.
What are you talking about? We just talked about
You just offered me 3-to-1. That's like kind of a take, you know. You can't just go back on this now. That's a book already.
Wow.
My 6K against your 2K.
Holy fuck. Wow.
Now you're in there. There's like I even gave you, a low price. And I will offer you fair buyout prices. I promise you.
Wow. So no, wow, this is so sick. Holy fuck. What am I supposed to do? I'm gonna have to have a lot more sex, Fedor.
So that's a good thing, you know?
I agree. Wow, this is so sick. Let me Google something real quick. Guys, we're live right now. Let me just Google something real quick. Honest, hold on a second.
This is getting out of hand again.
To stop master. I want to make the bet. Wow. Hold on. What does the chat think? Do you guys think? Indeed. 25K to 75K, keep it real, Holmes. I think it would be very healthy for me, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, of course it would. The thing is, I just want to. I don't want to make it too big because just keep it so you don't feel too bad. When I inevitably lose for the rest of the year, Jesus Christ. Just remember, it's the most expensive fat food in your life.
You are favored massively, IMO Joey. That's not true. That's not true at all.
Yeah, I think you're favored too. I'm just giving you money pretty much.
All right, 4-to-1, 10K to 2.5K.
How I was like, I offered you 2-to-1, then you say 3-to-1, and now you would just want to do it for 4-to-1? That's not good business, man.
What are you talking about, negotiating? Yeah,
but you can't offer me something for $70, and then when I say yes, you say 80. That's not how it works.
Okay, so I asked for 3-to-1. Well, listen, I'm a professional prop bet hustler, by the way, so I'm just negotiating. We're negotiating right now.
3-to-1.
3-to-1.
3 against 9.
3 against 9. It's not really much of a difference between the fucking 6 and 9. Oh man! All right, fuck this, man. Listen, this will be the craziest prop bet I've ever done, guys. I mean, I played 450,000 hands of PLO in a month. I played 600,000 hands of no limit in a month. This is gonna be the craziest prop bet I've ever taken in my life. All right, we're booked 9K to 3K from right now. Wait, from the end of the year, I can't I can. I cannot use any self-stimulation to get myself.
Oh my God, you're doomed. You're doomed.
What are you talking about? You think I'm doomed?
You're doomed. Oh my God, you can buy out for 2.8K.
What do you mean 2.8K?
You can buy out. That's
Listen,
about the
you know I'm a fucking machine, right, kid?
Yeah, a fat machine.
I'm about to get a girlfriend. Fuck this. Let me make some calls.
I need a really.
I got a girl in mind for sure. All right, guys. So I'm gonna need your guys' help from the chat. Look at the chat's going insane. Jesus Christ, man. I'm not hiring someone off from Backpage, by the way. Okay. I'm not. All right. So wait a sec. How hard do you think this is gonna be?
Very hard. I don't know. I've never tried it. I have no idea. But actually, now that I think about it, I don't think it's that outrageous. I don't know. I don't think it's that crazy. I think it's fine.
I'm gonna be walking around with a heart on like 24 hours a day now.
Yeah, but I mean, you're a good-looking guy, so
yeah, well.
I think you'll find your way around a lot of girls in the next 5 months.
I'm joining yoga classes, Pilates classes. I'm joining all the classes right now, man. Holy.
Yeah, obviously, no payment, right? Like, that is obvious, right?
No, listen, I haven't got a Backpage hooker girl in 7, 10, 9, 10 years. Okay, I'm not about to start again. I don't need to. I can meet girls at the grocery store. I don't need to start paying for girls.
Okay, just for reference, what was the longest you ever did without?
I don't know.
2.5 days.
Say 5, 6 days, something like that. Recently, I don't really remember like previous in my life, but maybe like 5, 6 days, something like that.
I think the most likely scenario is you sleeping with about 60 girls while like November and like end up with some serious issues. I think.
I'm gonna get a girl pregnant because of this, aren't I?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe 2.
Does it count if he doesn't use his hands? What the fuck, man? No, listen, I can't do it myself. Come on. Oh my gosh, man, this is crazy, dude. This is turned into the fucking. This is turned into the PCA pod. Listen, this is gonna be. All right, all right. I'm ready.
Good. Okay, serious now again. We're like.
Wow. Fedor's the best. So wait, do you think I really got hustle here? I feel like I made a good bet. I want to win the bet. I feel like it'd be very beneficial to me. I'd have a lot more free time throughout my day. Oh man, I really would though. Honestly, I have a lot more free time to my day.
I mean, I think the odds are not so bad. I think it's about like 10 to 30% you can make it.
10 to 30%. I got hustled so fucking hard. It's so sick.
I mean, depends how hard you try.
Yeah. I think
I mean, it's obvious. It's like pretty much the bet is more, can you get like a girl every 2-3 days? That's the bet.
Yes.
So
well, I'd make that. You want to make that bet too? I mean, I don't know. I'm kidding.
No, that's the same bet pretty much.
I'm kidding, guys. Come on. Shout out to my buddy Hassan. What's up, puppy? Andy Wong's in the chat. Andy Hong. What's up, Andy? What's happening, buddy? Hope you guys are doing all right. My buddy Jonah's still in the chat. What's up, Jonah puppy? Did we talk about? I better get Elliot Rowe's number now and have him put you in an anti-beat off trance. You're right. I'm calling up Elliot Rowe ASAP after this, and I'm going to talk to him and see what he says. Guys, I'm going to put cameras in my house, and I'm gonna prove to you that I'm not doing anything. Okay?
No, that's okay. I trust your I trust your judgment.
Fuck it, man. I'm gonna let people rail. I'm gonna let people rail along with this, man. God, this is gonna be insane. Can't. Oh my god. All right, so let's talk about. I guess one of the last things we'll talk about the Jason Mercier prop bets.
Yes.
You made some bets with him, and you ended up losing a lot of money versus him.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So what happened?
I mean, there's not much special stuff. I picked Stevie against him on winning a bracelet, and he won 2. And he gave me odds on Stevie. And then I bet against him after 40% of the series or so was through, and he gave me 2.7 to 1. And I bet against him. So that's like the whole thing.
How much did you end up betting then?
How much did I end up?
Right.
I lost like 400K against him.
Oh, that's it. It's not bad.
Yeah, 100K per bracelet and 200 betting against him.
Happens. 400K. So when you lose that, how do you give him? Do you just give him chips, or how does that work? How do you end up giving him the money?
Yeah, I just gave him cash. Chips.
Did you have other side bets that you ended up winning?
Yeah, I won the most cat. That was actually pretty nice. I had side bets going on for all no limit hold'em events at the WSOP except the main, and I was ahead against Tom Machisi, and I was behind against Jake Schindler.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last tournament that counted for the bet, I ran deep and I cashed enough to win. So I won about 150 there.
Very sick.
Yes, that was nice.
So total in the summer, over or under $10 million profit?
Under.
Under, okay. So people were saying 10 million. Over, under 5 million profit.
Probably over. I'm not gonna answer another one though.
That's okay. That's okay, Poppy. That's all we need to know, man. That's all we need to know. That's it, guys. It sounds like he had one of the best summers in poker. Dan Game said, start making video blogs with cams and no fap challenge. Post on YouTube. I bet you get a bunch of views. It's an idea.
Good idea, maybe.
It's an idea. Guys, take 1 or 2 more questions, then we're gonna wrap it up. So Fades, you got some books to read. You got some potential. You got some potential figuring out your life, man. We look forward to figuring out what you got going on, man. We look forward to figuring out what you got going on. Let me see. Let me find 1 more question. Last, who do you think I should get on the podcast? Who do you think I should get on? 1 or 2 suggestions.
It's a good question. Let me think about that one.
Okay.
Have you ever done one with Chewy?
I have never done one with Lucky Chewy, no.
Try him. He has some interesting information about the future as well.
Interesting information about the future. Okay.
About poker and stuff. He's planning some things. It could be interesting.
Okay.
And then who else?
Guillaume Liberté. I mean, might be able to get him on the pod. I don't know.
Would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be.
Wait, let me go through the list who I really want to listen.
Okay.
So, I mean, most of the business guys are interesting, but I don't know if they do something like that. Tough one. Who are you interested in?
I'm just terrified right now. I can't even think.
I mean, I think
think.
the Germans are interesting. The new upcoming wonder boys, you know. Crushing it all.
Which guys are those?
I mean, Reiner has been crushing it lately. Need some.
Yeah, you're right, man.
Maybe.
Which one?
Like Reiner. You can try.
Okay. I'm putting him on the list, man. Sounds good. Well, guys, we got some book recommendations. The Art of Learning, Thinking Fast and Slow, Most Important Thing, and The Man's Guide to Women.
I think also Goose Core would be really interesting.
Goose Core, all right. I need to get some more German. I've never met a German I didn't like. I got to be honest with you. Even being in Germany for a month, I didn't meet a German I didn't like over there.
I mean, he has a very interesting story to tell, I think. Super smart. Just like, I mean, probably a sicker development than me in terms of what he achieved in even a shorter time in cash games. Just sick.
Cool. Well, yeah. I'm gonna have to get in touch with him. Guys, if you tuned in for both podcasts today, much love to you. If you want to follow Fedor, you can follow him on Twitter. It's at CrownUpGuy. Fedor, are you on Instagram, Snapchat, anything like that?
Yeah, I think. Wait, let me look it up. No, I don't know. I don't really use it. So Twitter is everything. Twitter's life.
Twitter is. I'm actually gonna make a video figuring out how the fuck I'm ever gonna win this prop bet. I haven't lost a prop bet in 5 years. I don't think I'm gonna start now. Jonah Vela says, I want to work with Fedor to fix the world's problems and end world poverty. Would he be interested in some sort of partnership?
Let's start with some chilling at the lake for now, but maybe next year. Let's see.
Okay. Guys, appreciate all the comments, appreciate all the questions. If you want to watch this back, you can find it on my YouTube channel. It's at Joinger1. You can find these podcasts on iTunes. Search Poker Life Podcast. Follow Fedor on Twitter. It's at CrownUpGuy. I'm sure we'll check back in with Fedor in a couple months, 5 months, 3 months, 6 months, who knows when months, but we'll figure out what he's doing. Fedor, I wish you well, my friend. Very much congratulations on the epic summer that you had. And as always, I appreciate you coming on the pod.
Thanks. I mean, I always have fun here, so I'll be back. Yeah, we didn't even talk that much about my future plans, so yeah, maybe when it's time. So
I feel like you're still figuring out the future plans. You don't necessarily.
I'm going to move somewhere. I'll definitely move to Melbourne for 1 or 2 months in January. Maybe move to Buenos Aires and before that. So I have some.
You're gonna move to Buenos Aires, Argentina. Argentina.
Correct.
Damn, you're gonna be on the SHRB for sure, man. There's no chance you can avoid them down there. South American girl grind.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Oh my God, you're gonna be out of your fucking mind down there, kid. Holy shit. Well, Matt, we'll catch up with you soon. I appreciate you abusing the podcast Run Good these past. I mean, honestly, you've been on the podcast more than anyone else, and you've ran the best than anyone else. I mean,
it all makes sense. It all makes sense.
All right, guys. See you later, Fedor. Much love, puppy.
Definitely.
We'll chat soon about this bet.
You keep me updated with Snapchats, right?
I for sure. Are you on Snapchat, Fedor?
Yeah, I'm using it.
Are we friends in there? I don't even know.
But I keep it for private.
Yeah, I figured. All right, I'll chat with you on Facebook.
Okay. See you, buddy.
All right.
Bye, chat. It was fun.
See you guys later. Peace out. Adios.
Peace.
FML. Peace.